Welcome back to Groovy Egg's farm. I am Jeff. This is Bob. He's pestering me right now. He's supervising. Today is Monday. It is upper 60s. It's cloudy. No sunlight. A little glimpse here and there. But very nice day. A little bit of wind here and there. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right. A bunch of eggs went into the incubator last night. 80 eggs ready to go in the incubator. These are all Whiting True Blues. Those are from flock 6 and those are from flock 1. So my two different flocks of Whiting True Blues. Then all of these are Blue Black Splash Copper Marans. As you can see, some of them lay lighter. I'm gonna separate those out and hatch those separately from the darker ones. Let's see, I got 54 Blue Black Splash Copper Marans. I got 26 Whiting True Blues. But the thing is, a lot of these are older than a week. Some of these are older than 2 weeks old. So 80 eggs, but I do not expect to have a very high hatch rate. But I will take what I can get, and it is worth the effort. So these are ready to go into the incubator now. Eggs went into the incubator last night. Let's see, there were 54 of my Blue Black Splash Copper Marans, and there were 26 of my Whiting True Blues. A lot of those are older than a week. Most of them are older than a week. Some of them are older than 2 weeks old, so I do not expect to get a large percentage of them hatch. I'll be happy with 20 or so. I'll be really happy with 30. It'll probably be more like 12 to 15 my first hatch of the year. I don't know. The humidity here is different this time of year than it is in the summer, so I don't usually add water to my incubator, but I did do that so I can get my humidity up. See, everybody's humidity readouts are different, so I can't tell you what yours is going to be, but I like to keep mine 30 to 35% when I start out. In the summer, the relative humidity is already that high, so I don't need to add any water. But yeah, those eggs went into the incubator, and Bob is messing with the camera. But that's not the end of it. I don't just hatch once and then give up. I got to start collecting eggs today for the next hatch. And so let's have a little egg party. This is a group of eggs that I had already collected that I decided not to put in the incubator. These are my black Copper Marans, and these are new pullets. They're just now starting to lay. There are only 2 of them, and I think I don't know if both of them are laying, but they're still kind of small eggs, you know, compared to the other adult ones. So they're still kind of small. I would rather not hatch them, but I'm kind of desperate to increase my black Copper Marans flock. So if I did hatch those would be ones I'm keeping. These, I didn't really have enough of these to hatch, so I'm going to wait and put them in my next batch this coming week. But these are, this is one of my older olive eggers. She's in with a Whiting True Blue. So these would be Easter eggers if I hatched them. And this is black Copper Marans in with the same rooster. So these would be green eggers that would lay something similar to that. Her kids would lay something lighter than that. But I'll show off those speckles later. But yeah, I didn't have enough of the Easter eggers and the olive eggers to go ahead and put them in. So I'll wait a week and hopefully I get enough, and that will be good. And then these black Copper Marans, I'm debating whether or not I want to go ahead and hatch them and start to raise them. But yeah, so those I've already started saving for the next batch. Now let's take a look at eggs from today. This is today's egg haul, and it may not look like anything special, but there's some special stuff in here today for me. This was an extra special day. First up, I've got some whiting true blue young pullets who are just now starting to lay their very first eggs. And yeah, these are small. You don't hatch these, you eat them. But yeah. And so I'm very happy to see these, a nice, lovely shade of light blue. That's the thing with blue egg breeds. I only have experience with the white and true blues, but you go like, that's a white and true blue egg. And so is that one. And you can see there's, you know, difference in the shade. And that, that holds true, I think, with other blue egg breeds also, is you can get different shades of blue within the blues. Even, you know, some of them can look almost white. These probably, see, I need to get some white egg layers going so you can see the blue next to the white, and then it looks more blue. But these are officially considered blue eggs. But some of them are more white, some of them are blue, some of them are even tinted a little bit green. And there's a spectrum of blue eggs that the blue egg breeds will lay. It's hard to pinpoint, you know, and replicate the exact same shade over and over. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. Stay away from me, Bob. What else was groovy as far as today's eggs go? This one I got up in the corner here. Let me put these back. I am testing out some of my pullets that have started laying eggs. I've got that old coop that was here when I bought the place. And so I'll put one hen in there and leave her in there until she lays an egg. And so the one I tested last night, or yesterday, she laid this yesterday. Laid me, this is one of the darkest green eggs I've gotten from a first generation cross. So that is very lovely. And it's too small for me to hatch. It's still a pullet egg, but they will be getting to size very soon. So this was exciting that I can pinpoint another hen and exactly what type of egg she is laying. All right, now let's get to, all right, now which of these would I hatch? I need more white and true blues. I got a big demand for white and true blues, but these are too small to hatch, so I can't really hatch it. This one is from my blue black splash copper bronze flock, and yes, I will be hatching this one. This has some lovely, lovely speckles on it, like most of them do. So yes, I would be hatching that one. This is my number 2 legacy flock, and I've just got 2 of my green olive eggers in there to keep the number of rooster and hen ratio happy. But this one, she's a new layer, and those are calcium deposits. That happens, you know, they just get calcium buildup. They're, you know, the eggs are built out of calcium, so they're making their own calcium in there, and sometimes you just get deposits. Sometimes these will just, they'll scrape right off. But it's no big deal. It happens once in a while. So I would not be hatching these. These are not part of the number 2 Easter egger program, but that one was unique. You know, a lot of unique eggs today that you're not going to see. You know, a lot of people have never seen these who've never seen eggs not from a grocery store. You don't see green eggs in a grocery store. You don't see tiny eggs in a grocery store. You usually don't see, well, this one's, you might see eggs this dark, but not with the groovy speckles. This is flock 4, and yeah, that's a nice one. I will consider hatching this one. It's in with a black copper bronze rooster from this breed. So the goal would be to make an even darker green in the next generation. But some of the, half of them would lay a darker green, half of them would lay a brown like that. Okay, then this is my black copper bronze flock, and this is one of my olive eggers, and this one is potentially going to get hatched. It's a different black copper bronze. I got the black copper bronze father there. The black copper bronze sons are in here. So, yeah, I would potentially be hatching that one for a darker green, and half would lay a brown. Now this one, that is from one of my black copper bronze pullets who's laying her very first egg. And I don't think I've ever had an egg like this. It is It's purple with purple speckles. And you can see that's a little bit of blood. That happens when they're laying their first eggs ever, or when they're just starting up again. But this is just a very, very unique purple egg. And if I washed it, it would probably be a very different color. You're probably going to have, I don't know what you're going to have under there. Browns, probably similar to that one. But yeah, underneath this purple, that purple it's what's called a bloom. And blooms are not consistent. I'll show you that in a minute here too. But yeah, I can make a whole nother video on blooms. But that's what this is. It's just an anomaly. She is not going. If I could consistently produce hens that laid eggs like this, I'd be a multi-millionaire. She will not lay an egg like this, maybe never again in her entire life. They're just every once in a while you get an anomaly that comes out. And, you know, like this calcium deposit, and it'll never happen again. So, yeah, I'm just fortunate on that one. I'll show you the other eggs that I think is probably from the same hen. And then this is a white and true blue egg, nice and big, very, very nice big eggs. And that's after, you know, several generations of me selecting only hatching the big eggs. So now that the offspring that I have, they are only hatching nice. This is a jumbo. This is definitely an extra large egg. All right, so that's my egg haul from today. Now let's you want to speaking of jumbo eggs, take a look at this. Yeah, we'll have an extra large, and now let's get a tiny one in there too. You know, that's something people don't get to see. And, you know, from a small little tiny egg to a, you know, a little bit larger than normal to a jumbo, this one's probably a double yoker. But yeah, just the uniqueness, and that's, you know, one of the cool things about having colorful eggs is you never know what you're going to get from day to day. It's, you know, pretty cool. All right, now let's take a look at these. These eggs are from my black copper Marans flock. They might all be from the same pullet. I've got 2 pullets that are of age. They have just now started laying. This one, it's a little bit different shape. You know, they'll, but anyway, you never know. I know at least one of the girls is laying in there, maybe both of them, but I suspect all of these are from the same girl. So this egg was way out of the ordinary, but even then you can see the same hen, the same girl will lay different shades, different speckle patterns. Every single egg they lay will be unique when it comes to some of these varieties like the Marans and other ones with the speckles. You know, your brown egg layers like this, you know, they're not going to have speckles. They're all going to be the same shade, same size. But when you get into some of the, you know, other varieties of chickens like my blue and black and splash copper Marans, the same hen can lay, you know, different eggs from time to time. Very different eggs. Now let's look at one of my olive egger eggs. All 4 of these eggs are from the exact same hen. And I know that because she's the only hen in there that lays a green egg. This is one of my multi-generational olive egger, green eggers, using white and true blues and Welsumers. She's what, 3? She'll be 4 years old this year. And yeah, sometimes very speckled, sometimes just a solid olive egg. I don't know what it is. She goes through stages, but sometimes it's just solid with no speckles at all. And then, you know, other times she's putting speckles on there. And sometimes it's a lot lighter green than that with the speckles. You know, that's another unique thing. It's hard to guarantee people, hey, if you buy baby chicks from me, they're going to lay exactly this. Well, you're going to have a spectrum in which they can lay. It's hard to be precise when it comes to egg colors other than, you know, solid brown and solid white. Once you get into greens and blues and the darker browns, it's hard to guarantee that they'll get a certain egg color, because there's going to be a variation even from the same hen on different days. And yeah, that's one of the cool, unique things about backyard chickens, is you get to see things you would have never seen before. Yeah, pretty cool egg day for me. A little tiny pullet egg, an olive egger double yolker, and a purple pink. Who knows what's going on with that? Yeah, very cool day for me. A lot of times I get asked, well, what would happen if you hatch one of these big double yolkers? I am never going to try it. I would not recommend anybody else try it. There are other people who have tried it and reported their results, and it does not look good. It's just not a good situation hatching double yolkers. There's a potential for twins. It's exceptionally rare that would happen. Usually one develops and the other one doesn't. And they're probably going to be born with birth defects and all kinds of problems. So it's just not fair to do that to a baby chick just for our curiosity. So don't hatch the double yolkers. I was thinking about hatching this egg, so I didn't want to do this, but I think I'm going to do it just to show you. Yeah, see, that's the bloom. That's the bloom that changes the tint on the outside to almost a purplish. And underneath it, you can see that is just a nice dark brown egg. And when it dries, that bloom will dry back on there. And it'll be looking like this again in a few minutes. But yeah, isn't that cool? You can do that with a lot of the green eggs too. Do I have any? I might. Well, no, I want to hatch them. I don't want to get them wet. Say goodnight, Bob. You have been pestering me the whole time I've been doing this video. Yes, you have. You're worse outside than you are inside, Bob. I know, buddy, I know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy.